Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Anybody who might be new to the channel, I appreciate you coming through, and hopefully you'll enjoy this next video. But also feel free to watch my other videos on Maximum Football if you haven't already. I know in the last video I said I was going to probably do the next video of talking about Maximum Football's gameplay, but being that there's a patch that's supposed to be coming out, I figured, you know what, let me do a video on the MPL mode, which is obviously their online, especially since this game right here that you're going to see in the background was against the number 2 player on the leaderboard, which if you've seen the leaderboard, you'll notice that those top players are filled with a bunch of leaderboard exploiters. So I figured this is the perfect time to do a video on this because I wanted to see what he does in game for him to have a record of 131 wins and only 1 loss. Is it exploits in the game that he's doing, or is it just that he has some type of disconnect glitch that he and all the other guys are doing to get all those wins with practically no losses? So this is basically the whole game that's going to be playing in the background that I chopped up so that the whole game could fit within this 10-minute video as I talk about just my overall thoughts and review of the online mode. Okay, first off, one of the main things about online that is frustrating is that it's very hard to find games online. And that could be for a few reasons. One being that a lot of people are not even playing MPL. I know a lot of times when I go into Twitch streams, I see people that are just playing or simulating their Dynasty games. Obviously, there are people that just prefer to play the game offline. The second reason could be that the matchmaking is just that terrible on here. Maybe people are online looking for games, but it just struggles to find games. You're just stuck in these long queues. I mean, this game right here, I want to say took at least 15 minutes to match up. I queued up 3 separate times when I hit the 5-minute mark to kind of reset the queue. So hopefully the online mode improves because there's a lot of us who want to be able to play online. I know there's a lot of people who like to play offline, and that's cool and stuff. But I know for me, I like to compete against other opponents and test my skills. But I do respect people who rather just play offline and not deal with the stress of potential cheaters. I get it. Now there's a lot of people in the community who think the MPL should be eliminated in the card packs because they look at it like, oh, this was the downfall of MUT with Madden, and I kind of disagree with that. To be honest, I think MUT was such a game changer for a lot of us online players, just for the simple fact that it got to the point where you would just get tired of always going online and always having to play against the best team in Madden. It just started getting so repetitive that it was like it just needed a change. And being able to create your own team with different players was just one of the best things I think that came out of Madden. Now I get, a lot of people that don't play online, they hated the idea because of the fact that, they were mainly offline players. They liked their franchise and stuff like that. And I get it, Madden should have made that separate from the game. But it doesn't mean that it was just a bad idea. So when you see, Maximum Football implemented their form of MUT, I'm all for it. Maximum Football, they just need to polish up a lot of the simple stuff in order to be able to compete with not just Madden, but any upcoming football games that come out. The MPL, aka the online mode, it has to be up to par because, believe it or not, there's more of a player base, especially when it comes to sports, that plays online than they play offline. And I think that Maximum Football, they're in a unique situation because of the fact that it's not relying on NFL license, and you have the ability to create your own teams and theme teams, and there's so many ways you can go with your team and your creations that it just separates it from any other game. But they just have to really be all in on what they're doing and not just try to chase the money. So I'm looking forward to the future of Maximum Football. As long as there is a future of it. I think the game has a lot of potential, and I like where it's at foundation wise. You watch my videos, so a lot of the stuff that I talk about is like simple stuff that I think needs to be addressed. Like let's correct the simple things first before we worry about some of the stuff that a lot of other people are talking about, like when are we gonna have the ability to make taller players and stuff like that. I'm like, you know what? That's all stuff that's great and is needed, but let's work on some of the simple things. You know what I mean? Now, when it comes to this game right here that I'm playing, you're gonna see there's nothing crazy he's doing in this game. He's not really using any type of exploits, cheesy plays, or anything like that, giving him an edge. And I'm able to play my game and do whatever I want against him without a problem. But on the topic of cheese plays and exploits, I think there's a lot of people out there who have a different definition of that. When I think of cheese plays, to me, that usually means you're doing like these weird hot routes that kind of form some type of weird play that confuses the CPU. But if you're running the stock play and it just so happens that your receiver just always gets open, that's not an exploit or a cheese play, because you're not doing anything crazy to fool the CPU. Now, I know when I first started playing the game online, I would see a lot of running quarterbacks, but just because people are running with their quarterbacks, it doesn't mean that it's an exploit in the game. That's just an aspect of the game that you have to know how to stop. Now, is it difficult to stop? Yeah, it is a challenge, but it's no different than all the years of playing Madden during the Michael Vick era. You're also going to see a lot of squib kicking, and that's not necessarily an exploit, because I started doing that when I first started playing games, because I realized special teams is broken in this game. And once I seen how easy kickoff returns were happening, I immediately started doing squib kicks to minimize too many returns. So that also isn't an exploit, it's just a way to stop all the kickoff returns. I think, to be honest, out of all the games I've played online, it's not necessarily the things that other players will do to you online that cost you a win or a loss. It's more of the game itself. What I mean by that is the clock management. There's just not enough time to really make any type of adjustments within the game. And when you're losing a game, it's kind of hard to come back because you only have 3-minute quarters. True clock on here is just so brutal that you can't really make any type of pre-snap adjustments fast enough when you're on defense. And like I stated in my UI videos, the play call screen with the play art is so small, it's hard to quickly identify plays you might want to try out. Like I said, my frustration is more on simple game stuff than it is on the player I'm playing. All the gameplay issues I want to go over when I do my next video on gameplay stuff. This video was just for MPL issues, and obviously one of them being this player. Now, like I said, he didn't do any plays that was hard to stop, you know, like exploits or cheese plays. So for the most part, the game was winnable for me. But then he did something that I haven't seen in a long time that is basically an old way of cheating online, which just shows you how Maximum Football really needs to work on their online. From this thing, along with leaderboard abusers and matchmaking issues, this is something that was a thing back when online was first becoming mainstream, and that's lag switching. Man, I used to see stuff like that in early Madden days, and also when I played SOCOM. So as you can see right there, he did the quarterback scramble, but he lag switched. And you can tell a few plays before that run, he was starting to do the lag switch. He did it on the running back play, and he did it on a scramble before that one, but he didn't go that far. And the whole game, if you notice, was running smooth up until he got to this part. All of a sudden, he started lag switching, and he was the only one lagging. It's like you're just snaking through, and I couldn't even, and I was moving perfectly fine. I wasn't lagging at all, so it wasn't a connection thing, and I just couldn't even pinpoint where he was. But even with him doing that one play, he took that one touchdown lead on me, and I still had a chance to win this game. You know, I was going to try to come down here, score, and then I was going to go for the 2-point conversion to try to like end it so that there would be no time left on the clock. But it's unfortunate that, you know, my player just didn't come up with the easy catch. He just dropped the ball. But, you know, that I can live with. You know, sometimes you're going to have some catches, sometimes you're not. I mean, if you've seen earlier, you go back and you'll notice that, you know, I got lucky on a catch on a 4th down that it got tipped and my other receiver came in and caught it. And then he got 2 lucky plays going into half where he just threw the ball up and caught it. You know, I mean, those things I can live with. That's just Hail Mary type stuff. But those aren't, you know, glitches and exploits. But doing stuff like lag switching, you know, that's an issue. And that needs to be addressed. There's a lot more other things I could say about MPL. Ideas to try to help improve it. Maybe I'll do that in a future updated MPL video. But for now, that's going to do it for me on this video. Would love to hear what you guys think about Maximum Pro League. Are you guys playing MPL or just mainly Dynasty? Hopefully you guys enjoy this. Like I said, I'm going to be working on the gameplay video next. So stay tuned, and like always, thank you for watching. It's much appreciated. Have a good one, be safe, and we talk later.